And this is your wake-up call. Well, this morning from the book of John, chapter 4, a very familiar story for most. I shouldn't say story, but account in the scriptures. For most, we find Jesus taking a detour and heading off through a different path than he would have typically taken to travel. Now, let me explain this very quickly. Clear back, stretching all the way back to the days of Babylon, as the lands were divided up and as people settled into different places, there was a portion that the Jews would just not go through, and this was Samaria. Now, Christ thought needful in chapter 4, he says, as he left Judea and departed into Galilee, he said, I must needs go through Samaria. He said, I have a need to go through Samaria. There's something there for me. Now, this is not just interesting and complicated, but it's also good for us to know that as the Jews didn't want to go through Samaria, Christ said, I'm going to go. Now, it was a shorter route. It was a much easier route to go. But at the time, the Jewish people just didn't mix and mingle with the Samaritans. And Jesus said, I have a need to go through there. Now, I can tell you all about Jacob's well and the woman at Jacob's well, and we'll discuss that in a second. But what I want you to understand this morning is that oftentimes in life, we wouldn't choose to go the path where God could use us. We would oftentimes choose to go the path that is the norm, even if it's longer or would take longer. This is how we've been conditioned by our society. It's how we've been conditioned by those around us to think that this is our life has to fit into this mold, when the truth is your life needs to fit into God's mold. It needs to be controlled, directed, or otherwise, and everything needs to be initiated by Him. So when Christ said, I have a need, I need to go through Samaria. There's a woman there sitting on a well, and I needed to tell her there was forgiveness and hope and restoration and grace and peace. He would not have had that opportunity if he didn't go through Samaria. You know, I know many times in your life today there are places and things that you don't want to do because socially you don't feel like you can get along with those people. Maybe it's social classes. Maybe it's intellectual. I don't know what it is, but oftentimes we avoid conversations and situations, and we say, I'm not going to go that way because I feel like I just don't belong there. Or maybe I feel like I'm a little above all that I would be encountering. Well, that's just not true. You realize we all need forgiveness. We all need grace. We all need the Lord. And no matter our social class standing, geographic location, or our demographic, it doesn't matter. We all need the Lord. And so Christ said, I have a need to go through Samaria. I wonder, what route are you avoiding today? You know, there are options, and everybody wants to have an at-the-well experience. Everybody wants to sit there and be able to tell somebody about Christ being the living water, and everybody wants these experiences, but we want them on Sunday morning, when really those experiences happen Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And so let's be willing to go a little bit out of the way, maybe somewhere we wouldn't go before, to give somebody Jesus. And let's do it with gladness and joy in our heart. Well, I hope that you have a wonderful